Imagine you married a woman who you thought was an angel, but over time her true colors show. Akaash Singh just made one of the worst mistakes a man could ever make.
Priya, I'm actively trying to have an orgy.
How do you and your husband split finances?
We don't. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money.
For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Jasleen. I'm a stay-at-home wife, but I don't cook or clean because I don't feel like it. And my husband is a full-time stand-up comedian, and he buys me lots of nice things.
Right when we were forgetting about the humiliation ritual Akash's wife put him through just a few months ago, he thought it was a good idea to go on a podcast and bring it back up. Now, if you want to know why Akaash Singh is basically the #1 cuck in the world, overall defensive player of all time for all cucks, watch this video. Reason number 1. Akash's wife was on a podcast with one of her friends, Jasleen, or I think that's her name. And while she's on the podcast, she says something that she really wished she shouldn't have.
And you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
No, I kind of love it, but I'm like, us four? Okay, maybe.
I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches.
What the fuck?
Akaash is such a king. Like, everyone knows he's the best husband. And I don't often find men that measure up to him. And like, Nav completely measures up to him, if not more.
Now, what's crazy about this whole thing is that you hear how she talks about her husband. She's just putting him down the whole time, talking about how people look better or how much of a good man he is, but how much better her friend boyfriend is than him. Now, watch how he's ready to burn the whole world down. Defending her.
It's like a different audience. Like, I didn't realize in the space that you function in a podcast world, because you guys are very, very famous. I didn't realize like people were giving your wife a hard time for standing up for you or having an opinion.
No, she said shit that if I said it, everybody would say it was a joke. And she and I because we've only had sex with each other, she and I have a relationship where it's like, I don't give a f what you say. She can give a f what I say. I have her location. She has my location. Every time if you look at 90% of her TikToks, they're on our couch. Like, she don't go nowhere without me. So I'm like, whatever you say, I don't care. I know you. But the internet just ran with it and made it a thing. And at first, it really like f***ed me up.
I wanted to ask you, how did you really feel?
First week this was happening, she goes, you know what, baby? God knows what's true. We know what's true.
That's right.
What else matters? Who cares what anybody thinks? And I was like, I care. What are you talking about? There's a side of me that's like, maybe it's a short guy thing, but I really identify with like Kendrick Lamar, where it's like, if we want beef, I'll destroy everything. I'll burn everything down. There's a little part of me that's pre-therapy.
No, we don't want that.
That's like, I don't care about the money. I don't care about whatever. You came with my wife. Let's just burn it all down.
This is the moment where everybody turned on him because nobody could understand, how do you want to burn everything down to the ground over your wife who's publicly humiliated you so many times? And what makes it even worse is that she already admitted that she was living good. All she does is sit around her penthouse and spend his money all day. So why do you need to say edgy things on your podcast to blow up? You're not in need of money. But she then goes on another podcast after all this drama and then tries to explain that it wasn't her. It's only the podcast fan base that's creating a backlash. The things that she said out her mouth, there's no problem with it. It's the podcast. That's the problem.
I know the periphery of Akaash's fan base, which is, I will say, more of the podcast fan base. And I know a lot of people during like our controversy were saying like, oh, it's because of his fans. It's because of his fans. Like, his comedy fans are not like that. It's more the podcast fan base that I don't think really resonate with him, because a lot of them are like really racist and right wing. I think like those of them are more like that. But yeah, anyways, I said like those peripheral fans, like they might come at us just because we're brown girls being opinionated and they don't like opinionated women.
Boo-hoo, cry me a river. You can't go on in life thinking that you could say things without a repercussion or a consequence. Most people lack things like vitamin C, vitamin D. She lacks accountability. She went on podcasts talking about how sometimes she would wake up in a bed with a man and her butt would start hurting, but she wouldn't know what it was from. But yet she could sit here and blame people on a podcast for being racist and they don't like women that speak up for themselves. But where's the accountability for all the things that you said in the past about? She even admitted that her husband was one of the best people in this world that she's ever came across. But yet one of her friends' husbands might meet his standards or is better than her own husband. That don't even seem like a joke. And if it was a joke, I could understand if you was doing a joke. Nah, I can't even understand that. I was about to lie. I was about to sit here and lie and say I could understand if she made that joke and her and her husband didn't have any money and they were trying to get up. I still can't even understand it, because now she can say things to you and say, oh yeah, it was a joke, when it wasn't a joke the whole time. Now, if you're familiar with the Flagrant podcast, you would know that Akaash been on the Flagrant podcast for a minute now. Ever since the situation happened with him and his wife, he hasn't been back on the podcast in 4 months. But yeah, if you go to the comment section, you'll see the exact things that he want to run from. He want to run from all the negative comments and everything demeaning someone will have to say about his wife. He reveals on a podcast that he will no longer be returning to Flagrant.
I guess
Or what was surprising?
Yeah, the thing that surprised me is so many people ran and made videos when they have my number or they have we've messaged each other on Instagram, and it's like, yo, you could have just asked me what really is happening.
Yeah.
Like, people are saying foul stuff about her, and one guy was like, man, I hope I get to talk to him. And it's like, man, you got my number. You could just text me. He's talking about my marriage and like, oh, I know he had an arranged marriage. And it's like, really? Because you weren't invited to the wedding. So how would you know if we had an arranged marriage or not? We didn't, which I wouldn't mind if we did. Yeah. But I guess the idea was like he didn't know what he was getting into because it was an arranged marriage.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, but you didn't, I never even thought of inviting you. You weren't, if I thought of 1,000 people, you didn't make that list. So why are you running out here talking? You could just reach out as a human. And then I realized this fame thing is a monster, man.
That's right.
And people want that badly.
That's
and they'll
right.
run and talk about you for views, even
That's
if you're
right.
friends. And that's where I'm like, man, I don't want that. I don't want to sacrifice the morality. I didn't get into this to be famous. I thought it was cool at the time. Now it's like, it is what it is. I got into this to be the best comic possible. Everything else is noise. Take care of my family, be the best comic possible. Everything else is nonsense. And that's kind of where I sit right now.
And you feel good about it?
I feel much lighter, dude, when I realized like my ticket sales were not affected. They've gone up, if anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, these people have their community online and they bash people, and that's good for you. That's not an existence I would love, and I have my existence, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Were you surprised at how many people were so quick to say something because they thought it was your downfall? Like, you were like, oh, that's how you really feel about
Yeah, I
me.
guess I don't know if I thought it was because I don't. This sounds like I'm being fake humble. I think because I'm surrounded by so many people so much more successful than me, I never see myself at any kind of peak. So to me, there's like no downfall to happen because, again, this is like the first time I thought, oh, I have some level of fame that what my wife says is newsworthy.
Right.
But so I don't think downfall. I think I was just like, oh, y'all just want this fame thing more than anything. And I've realized it's addictive, and it can, I think, lure you in before you realize it. You're addicted to it, and you're saying stuff about like, we're supposed to be really good friends, and you're saying stuff or letting stuff slide. And I'm like, you're not a bad person. You just really want the fame. And you might be kind of broken if you've seen the other side of fame and you've experienced it and you still want it. There's probably something wrong with you. Ooh. I don't personally want that.
Ooh.
The situation was hilarious when it first started, but now that it progresses and he explains more of how he feels, I don't find it funny. To watch the internet break a grown man to giving up on all his hopes and dreams is sad, and I hope that he gets better. This woman has broken him, like completely destroyed him, and they still don't have any kids yet, so it's not too late to walk away. But he hasn't been back to the podcast in 4 to 5 months, and anybody on Flagrant refuses to talk about him. And when Akaash was talking about people that was close to him and that had his number, talking about his wife that could have just texted him or called him, he was talking about Charlamagne the God and Andrew Schultz. I guess they were speaking about his wife on their podcast, and he got mad, and that's why he's not on Flagrant no more. But watching Akaash just sad and broken because of what his wife said, I just don't find any joy in it anymore. But let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Is this humorous to y'all? Like, do y'all actually find enjoyment out of this? Or do y'all also find pity? Let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Please subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It will mean a lot if you join the community and you subscribe.